All right, so today I wanted to talk about why I think it's so important for especially young people to start saving towards buying a house as quickly as possible. And the main point that I'm going to make is basically the net worth of somebody who's renting over the short term versus somebody who is buying over the short term. So for this example, I'm going to say that you're renting for maybe $1,000 a month. And I'll try to find a house or a property in the area that would basically come to a similar or equivalent payment then. So what I ended up doing was I ended up looking on the MLS and I found a $150,000 house in Brunswick, 3-bedroom, 1 bath, listed for $150,000, no HOA, and it's under contract currently, so I don't know what it officially sold for, but let's say that it went under contract at $160,000, and that's going to be the purchase price. So $160,000 using an FHA loan, you're probably going to be somewhere in the neighborhood of $1,020 a month for your monthly mortgage payment. So pretty close. Obviously, if you could get that closer to $155,000, that'd be better. And we would be more in line with that 1,000 versus 1,000, renting versus owning. But so the example that I want to use is the net worth of the individuals for somebody who's renting for, say, let's just say 3 years versus somebody who is buying right now and what their net worth will be in 3 years. So the main difference, the biggest difference for their net worth is going to be the home value appreciation. So over time, home prices increase in worth, just like anything with inflation, with supply and demand. In general, home prices have gone up between 3.5 to 3.8% year over year nationally. So I used the 3.5% increase in home appreciation per year here for my numbers, and just to put it on the conservative side. So basically, after 1 year of home ownership, your $160,000 property now is worth $165,000 and change. After year 2, it's worth $171,000 and change. After year 3, it's worth about $177,400, I think is what it ended up being. So just with the home value increasing alone, your net worth is a positive $17,400, because in both scenarios you're paying $1,000 a month to live somewhere, but in scenario A where you're renting, all of that is going toward to the landlord, and you don't get to keep any of that money. You don't build any equity when you move out. So if you did want to eventually sell, then that's where, hey, you're already up $17,000 there. So the second important part is going to be the loan pay down. And I ended up using a loan amortization calculator to figure out how much of your monthly payments are going toward principal versus towards interest to the bank. And in year 1, basically you end up putting $3,100 towards principal. Year 2, it's $32 and change. Year 3, it's $33 and change. I think it's actually like $31.70, $32.70, $33.70, something like that. So over the course of those 3 years, you are actually, I calculated it, you're putting down $9,816 towards your principal as well. So there's another $10,000 that you have for your loan pay down. So even though, the home is now worth $177,400, you also reduced how much you owe on that home by $10,000. So you're at plus 17 for the home appreciation. You're at plus 10,000 for your loan pay down. So you're already at plus $27,000 just by by owning versus renting. And then lastly, the part that I'm not going to get too much into the weeds with is the tax benefits, because you can write off your property taxes, you can write off the interest that you're paying on your loan, You can write off, depreciation. There are so many different things, or benefits to owning real estate, whether it's your primary residence or as an investment property. But basically, the sooner you can buy a property, the sooner you can capture that wealth, that equity right there. Because if you're buying that when you're 20 years old versus 23 years old, you already put an extra $27,000 in the bank just by buying earlier, and you had to save up for a down payment. So that's why I think it's crucial for everybody to own a home, but especially when you're young, try to save up as quickly as you can and buy sooner rather than later.